when exploring worlds in VRChat, you may run into some worlds that have linked to websites, and wonder about how you can do it yourself. Well, unfortunately this is a VRChat partner only feature, as it's a massive security risk. However, what we can do is we can create a little button that we can click on to give the player a bunch of text, and then all they have to do is hit the copy button, drag over their web browser, and paste it in. So let me show you how we can do that. Okay, so now that we're in Unity, it's time to create a logic. To do this, we'll be using an input field, and for that, we'll need a canvas. I'm just going to use this blank wall for my canvas, so I'm just going to right click here and go UI canvas to create a canvas. Now on this canvas, we need to change a couple of settings. We're going to put this on the default layer so we can interact with it. We need to change its render mode to be screen space to make it a object in the world instead of just on the desktop UI. Then we need, because this is massive, we need to scale it down. So I'm going to scale it down to 0.002, which is nice and small. And then make sure your Z is really small, because otherwise objects will be like offset from the canvas and whatnot, which is a weird VR problem. But anyways, I'm just going to go over here, go Control-Shift-F to place it where I am. And we can see it's roughly where it needs to be now. I'm going to correct its rotation just to clean it all up a bit. And then just make sure it's in the correct enough location. Yeah, that should be fine for now. If I was doing this for real, I'd fine tune this a bit more, but that should be enough. And then finally what we need to do is we need to add a UI shape, and that will allow us to interact with the object, or like more importantly, it'll make the little blue VRChat laser show up, so we can actually interact with things on the canvas. Anyways, now we need to come to our canvas. We can just right click and go UI input field. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to use the legacy one because I'm used to that one, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, for this, I'm just going to call this a Patreon button, even though it's not a button technically. Then we want to change its width and height to be something nice. I'm just going to go with 90. Then we need to make this an icon that we can click on. And so on your, if you've got an image and whatnot, you just want to make sure the type is set to Sprite 2D and UI and just click apply if so. And once you've done that, you can go to your input field and you can change this and give it your Patreon button or whatever item you want to use. So we've now got that. Then we need to come down here and we need some text for it. So I'm just going to come over to and get my Patreon link and paste that in. And then we want to set it to read only, and that way the player won't be able to interact with it and change the text that's on it. Speaking of text, we'll see we've got some text on the Patreon button here. And that is just because normally when you use an input field, it's meant to actually display it if you in default Unity, but VRChat, being a VR program, shows up the whole virtual keyboard and everything, and we'll just be exclusively using that for copying and pasting and all that and showing it to the player. So we want to come over to our text icons and whatnot, and I'm going to change it to be the middle one here, and then just set the width and height to be 0. That way they are completely invisible. You can't delete them because that will cause errors and whatnot, but this is plenty fine enough. Anyways, with all that done, we should be ready to get this going. Last thing I'm going to do though is just set navigation to none, because you need to do that on every single UI item, because VRChat and Unity don't like that. Anyways, go to VRChat and then we just want to build and test this. And now that we're in VRChat, we can just come over to our button and click it, and it'll bring up this text. And being a read-only field, we're unable to type in or change this value at all. But people can still click copy and grab it themselves. So, hopefully you found this helpful. Feel free to like it if you liked it, leave a comment down below with any questions, and I hope that you'll check out some of my other tutorials that I have on the channel. But until next time, bye!